Hello there, this is LEGO Dynasty, and today I'm bringing you guys my review of the LEGO Star Wars Knights of Ren transport ship. It is set number 75284, comes with 595 pieces, is rated ages 9 and up. Now this set retailed in the United States for $69.99 or in Canada for $89.99. Now of course I said retail because this is a retired set and can only be found in stores, at least official stores, like LEGO themselves, Walmart, Target, Toys R Us, Mastermind Toys, etc. But can be found on the secondary market. Now, without further ado, let's kick off this review, starting with the box. And taking a look at the box, you can have the transport ship on Pasaana, facing off against Rey with the two Knights of Ren, looking pretty nice overall. The ship itself looks pretty cool, though is, for 595 pieces at its price point was very pricey for what it was. Like, there wasn't much to the set, as we will get into. Flipping the set around, you can see like the fact that they only show two things on the box, and one of them is just a typical missile shooter, and the other one is a cockpit area. Like that is literally it. We will get into the functionalities, but that is basically it for the set, and it's why the set to me didn't do too well, especially like it was too downscaled. Like, it's weird to say a set was downscaled when it's the only version of a ship we've gotten, but it just felt like they really scaled this model down from what it should have been. Taking a look at the manual, and I've said this on the last few reviews, but it doesn't look so much better than what we're currently getting. One is this, printed, it's the same box art, just printed on the manual. But these manuals, like I'm telling you, feel so much more premium quality and are just much nicer to look at. You have Darth Vader there, which looks pretty nice. Definitely something that just looks pretty nice there, I guess. And I haven't done this on the other reviews, but trip down memory lane. You have some sets that were released at the time, including the 501st Battle Pack. Here we have the extra pieces, including the set, including a couple of lightsaber hilts, an extra missile shooter, and some Technic pieces, which is all pretty nice to add to your collection for free. Take a look at our first minifigure. We have Rey in her white Rise of Skywalker robes. So this is the exact same one we got in the Pasaana Speeder Chase. And I believe she also came in another Rise of Skywalker set, so nothing special about her, but makes sense. She doesn't change her outfit at all. So at the end of the day, same face print, with it being a bit more stoic and a slight smile there. Overall though, pretty nice figure. Love the torso to the belt to the leg printing. Just love that continuity there. Next up, we have a couple of Knight of Ren troopers, or I say troopers, I mean, they have names, but they didn't even bother to call them their names on the box, which is interesting. And at the end of the day, these guys were pretty much duds in the films. Like, really thought we were going to get more in depth into them. Honestly, they've sort of expanded their backstory in the comics, but I know the Acolyte wasn't well received, but I still believe like that was something they might have wanted to do, was establish him as the first Knight of Ren with the Cortosis helmet. Even though none of these guys have Cortosis helmets, but just seemed like something they were planning to do if he wasn't like Darth Veranimus or something. But I got on a tangent about the Acolyte there. At the end of the day, what LEGO did at the time was they separated all the Knights of Ren into different sets. So if you wanted to have them all, you had to buy all the individual sets that they came in. So I guess that helped them sell sets if you wanted the full set of Knights of Ren and didn't want to buy one online. Overall though, they have pretty good printing. No face prints. We don't even know if they're human underneath, at least at the time of Rise of Skywalker. So there's that. And you have brand new helmet molds for each of them that were only used for them, which was kind of interesting, but pretty nice helmets overall. This one has a brick built gun. I assume this is what's supposed to be. I'm not even sure. Kind of wish they just gave him a regular blaster, to be honest with you, as I don't think this one looks particularly good, but it's what they gave him. And the other one, as you can see here, I actually love this one's helmet a little bit more, though I feel like they might have repurposed this helmet for Enfys Nest. Could be wrong there. I didn't have any of the solo sets, but I believe this helmet wasn't like exclusive to him especially, but it still looks pretty cool in this gray with the silver visor just looks awesome. Again, a black head underneath, and then the torso print and back print. Now let's get into the Knight of Ren transport ship, and like, it looks cool. Like, legitimately, I feel like it looks cool. It just is, when you have it in hand, it is so thin. It's the best way to put it. Like, you look at it, and especially when you look underneath, like, you can see, like, it's just plates. Like, that's all it is. And the plates aren't even covered up. Like, it feels like the least they could have done was, you know, add some, you know, black plates, you know, to cover up some of this, you know, the double-sided plates, and just to make it look a little bit better than it being gray, because that's just not accurate. And the fact you can see this much Technic, like, this to me just shows the lack of care that went into this model, especially. Like, they wanted it to look good, but when you get into the guts of the set, it just doesn't look good. And you can see, like, there's no room for anything because they didn't close it up at all. Like, yeah, like, even if you wanted to have like a space for you to fit your characters, there's nothing there for them to fit into. So at the end of the day, like, all you have for these characters is little, you know, I guess I say cockpit areas, but it's really just places for you to fit your characters in, just like so, and have them stick out, because they can't actually sit inside the set at all, which is, to me, pretty ridiculous, because this is meant to actually be a spaceship. At least I'm pretty sure it is. Maybe I'm completely wrong there, but I'm pretty sure we see this flying in space at one point. Okay, there is an extra spot. They don't show it on the box, but there is a second spot for you to fit your other characters, so that's good, I guess. Just like so. And like I said, you have the extra missile shooters here on the sides, which I'll just move the box. So there's that. And they shoot pretty loud, so that's fun. And they give you an extra one in case you lose one, so you can restock those. But again, like, it just, this set, like, they did the bare minimum, and that's why, like, I'm not surprised the set didn't do too well. I know the set went on sale quite often, and that's when I finally got it, was when it was on sale. Because one, the pricing, like, again, you know, 600 pieces thereabouts for 70 US, 90 Canadian. Like, yeah, that's kind of the norm now for a set like this, but it just, you look at it and there's not a lot of big pieces. Like, yeah, there's a couple of plates, but there's no exclusive prints. There's no, like, yeah, some of them had different helmets, I guess, but it's like, that doesn't justify the pricing of these sets. And like I said in my last review, like, this is when sets started to feel like they were becoming ridiculously expensive, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, like, maybe people have been talking about it for years prior to that, but I really feel like 2020 is when sets really started to feel overpriced, and it's just gone up, and now, you know, this January wave is like plowed through the wall, and it's like now a lot more people are talking about how overpriced sets are becoming, and justifiably so, in my opinion. So at the end of the day, like, you can do some different stuff, like, you can move those out, I guess, but I don't know, like, that's basically it when it comes to the set. And that's the disappointing part, is like, when you look at it on the box, I think it looks really awesome, but when you get down into it, it just wasn't a great set to begin with. To me, the LEGO Star Wars Knights of Ren transport ship, to me, was an overpriced, underproduced, or underdeveloped, I guess is maybe the better word, set that to me just really disappointed me. And that's why, you know, I watched reviews on it, and I still wanted it mostly for, and so I had the complete set of the Knights of Ren. That's really the main reason I got them. This set, to be honest with you, but I still thought the outside looked good, and I thought, you know, maybe I'll like it more when I build it. But having it in hand, like, I'm not surprised this set didn't do particularly well, and, you know, it's just like they didn't put effort into it. And I'm sure someone will say, well, Disney didn't put enough effort into the sequels, and that's very true, but just this set in particular feels like they could have done a lot more. Yeah, maybe it would have even been more expensive, but like it feels like they could have made it beefier and actually had something of an interior, and or at the very least did something with the bottom of the ship, so it didn't look like this. Like that is just not great in my opinion. It just yeah, and you might not be thinking, well, you're not going to look at it that often, but if you have glass shelves or just in general, like it just doesn't look good, and I guarantee you it isn't how it's supposed to look. Like it just feels like they just skipped what the bottom of the ship should look like. That being said, that's all my opinion. Let me know your thoughts on the Knights of Ren transport ship. Did you guys pick this setup when it was available? Are you planning to try and find it on the secondary market? Let me know. Please like and subscribe if you have enjoyed, and have a great day, everyone.